on this cold Wednesday morning. It is 9 degrees here. It is cold. All right, let me just get set up with the pop-outs so I can see what you guys are saying on YouTube. And a couple of things. I am totally confused now with the changing narrative that keeps coming out. I'm hearing they're going to try to enforce this blockade by Friday, naval blockade. Let me just get Rumble. I have to create a new template. Let me just take care of Rumble. Rumble is funny. We gotta change the thumbnail. And I have to do this when I'm live, but I could set up a static IP. And Sep is a little busy, but he may join me. I'm waiting to see if he messages me back. He's been messaging me a few things this morning. I'm just going to leave that. Okay, we changed the title. We're good. And good morning to those who may be just joining. I have to tell you, I've got a couple of videos and images to show you, because last night I found a few things of interest. Let me just keep an eye if Sep messages me. He's busy right now. All right, let me show you a few things. Well, I'm just going to start off with this because I'm confused. I'm confused with the narrative coming out of the White House. And they put this out this morning, about an hour ago. Now, I want all of you to explain to me what you see in this. Okay? Good morning, Candace. Oh, it's freezing here. It's freezing. And we may have another big snowstorm possible this weekend. It's crazy. Well, that's for another... We'll talk about that maybe later. Like I said, I'm a little baffled at the stuff coming out. And I don't know if this is to throw it off, but I'm not going to keep saying that. I'm not just going to keep saying it for the sake of. Because I'm actually getting fed up. And I don't know why this is doing this, but this is an hour ago. Hopefully Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair... I'll check that out in a second, Cap. A fair and equitable deal, no nuclear weapons, one that is good for all parties. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. As I told Iran once before, make a deal. So there's a deal on the table for the nuclear? Yeah, but you got to remember. No, I get it, user. No. He made red lines. He said red lines about the protesters and execution. That he would go in and hit them hard and he would rescue the Iranian people. This nuclear thing has never changed. He's been saying this for quite some time. This has not changed. But so we're going to negotiate with the regime. This was issued an hour ago. So we're going to negotiate with this regime. Meanwhile, red lines were drawn and crossed. They actually executed someone this morning. So I get this. We know that they offered them a deal and they said no, the Iranians. No nuclear, give zero enrichment, hand over enrichment materials, release all the people that were arrested, detained, reduce the missile production, the ballistic missile program, no funding to the proxies. That's already been said no. So are they just putting this out there knowing the obvious answer is they already said no to this? Because they already said no. What was it, yesterday or the day before? They said no. Or are they saying something different behind back channels on the nuclear part? And then there's word I'm reading now coming in from Israel that they're going to do an armada by Friday, a naval blockade, like this is Venezuela. I'm a little confused. Now, this could all be just putting that stuff out there. I'm like, even Ali, right? I'm a little, and like I said, this could be part of a tactic, but they already said no. The foreign minister said no. Others have said no, no deal. So I was a little confused when I saw this morning. And remember yesterday when he was in Iowa and he said there's another massive, I think I know now what he was trying to mean when he said that. Because he was talking about, I think in past tense, about the massive armada that's in Venezuela. Well, there's another massive armada heading toward Iran, meaning the Lincoln. Because he says it here. Because I was confused last night. A massive armada is heading to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. It is a larger fleet headed by the aircraft carrier Lincoln, which it's already there, than that sent to Venezuela. That's what he was referring to. Because last night it wasn't clear. So he's comparing this one to the Venezuelan Ford fleet. Because last night I thought he was sending another carrier group, which could still be happening. But last night when we were live, Sepp and I and all of us, I was like, oh, he's just confirming another carrier group is moving into the region in Iran. But after what he just posted, no. That's not, I think, what he meant. I think he meant there was a massive fleet in Venezuela, and now there's another one heading to Iran, meaning the Lincoln. Because that's what I'm getting from this. Because that's what I'm saying. I'm a little confused this morning. And that's when it says that top part, the White House part. Hopefully Iran will come quickly to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal. No nuclear weapons. Didn't we try to address this already? Are we not rehashing? What happened to if they kill the protesters, they're going to get hit very, very hard. We're going to come to the rescue, keep protesting, take over institutions, etc. If they start executing people, which the evidence is now clear, even Israel has provided the intelligence from the Mossad. But there's only one thing mentioned there, nuclear. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. As I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer, major destruction of Iran. The next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump. He's giving them every opportunity. Now, that could be another thing. He's doing this on purpose to show that he is giving them every opportunity. So when there is a move, he can say, and the administration could say, we tried numerous times to negotiate, and they did not want to negotiate. So there's a lot of ways to look into this. There's a lot of different ways to look at what this is all about. I'm not just concluding on one point. There could be many reasons this was posted. I'm sure that it's all in the eye of the beholder and how you interpret it. But for me, it's like mixed signals. But that could be on purpose. Definitely could be on purpose. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh man, I need Sep. Let me call him. Let me see if he's around. We need some Persian presence here because they're not understanding. Let me see if he's around. I don't know if he might be busy. What time is it in Austria? 9:30, 3:30 in the afternoon, 3:32. He's probably busy. He knows I'm trying to call. And good morning, Witch Moon, and everybody in chat. So they said we are not ready. Yeah, no, everybody's respectful here. Don't worry about your comments and opinions. All opinions are welcomed. You do not have to feel uncomfortable expressing your opinion here. Everyone is respected unless it crosses that line. Yeah, right. I thought he was talking about the bush or some. I agree. The attack is sure going to be off the scales. Yes, and I agree with that. They're trying to show that they're trying to do everything they can diplomatically. But I think they already know the answer is no. That's what I'm saying. I already think they know that they're not going to. But they're just putting that out there. What's going on? They say that always mutual respect means polite. No. I think that why Trump worries about nuclear? Nuclear is gone, man. Not necessarily. Even the atomic energy people said there were unknown locations that still could have enriched material and even could be developing. That is not true. If you looked at the IAEA report before that happened, there was other places that they had no access to, and there was unknown locations. Everybody was concentrating on what Midnight Hammer focused on. That is not what not all accounted for. You got to go look at the report before that happened. Do not think that a lot of people buy that we got everything. It's not what the IAEA report said before this even happened, Midnight Hammer. Should look at the report. Exactly. They're going to keep trying to get nukes. They want to be like North Korea, and once they have the nukes, then they think that then they're untouchable. This is this is not happening. There's other stuff going on. I got to show you guys though. But why does he keep saying that about nuclear? Problem is worse than that now. Again, this could all be the 4D chess move. Throwing this in there to say that he's trying to negotiate, make a deal, knowing, I'm telling you, there is no deal. And they might already know that, but they're still putting this out there like they're trying to negotiate with Iran. I'm assuming, obviously, I'm speculating. Because all the other things that have been coming out is the Iranians are saying no deal. The IRGC announced it yesterday, no deal. Good morning, Mr. Soriano. How are you? Haven't seen you in a few days. When is Tusi on next? Please let me know if you guys find out. But we know Khomeini, he never wants a deal. He just wants wasting time. Yeah, prolonging it. It just said that they have 900 pounds of enriched plutonium. Who said that? 900 pounds? No, they were told to hand over all enrichment material and then go to zero production. The deal, we went over this for days already. This is not like we haven't talked about this. We've been talking about the deal that they turned down. We read what the foreign minister, Gracchi, whatever his name, said. No, it's unconditional. We're not going to do, do I have to read it again? They already said no. But that doesn't mean, when somebody says something public, it's one thing. What they say behind the scenes could be totally different. And there's other stuff I got to show you guys. I don't want to get stuck on this one thing. A lot of moving pieces, not to take away from subject at hand. Okay, yeah, that's the Canada stuff. Okay, so let me just show you. Like I said, I don't want to just get stuck on that. It's something to think about, though. And this came out of Israel. I'm saying we're a reporter from Israel who I follow and has been very credible since October 7th. Let me see what it. Let me go to them. Actually, before I say that, let me go to the other side, propaganda, and read to you what they just put this morning. This morning, shortly after dawn prayers, the Iranian judiciary executed a traitor convicted of spying for Mossad by method of hanging until death. So that was this morning. And I can't confirm it, but that's what the other side is reporting. What? That was that they're saying a lot of shit, the other side. They always put out a lot of rhetoric and propaganda. I'm not even going to go there. But that happened this morning. And I don't know if it's let me see the reporter from Israel. Iran's delegation to the UN, he just put this out just now. If our country is cornered, it will respond in a way it never has before. So that's the Iran's delegation to the UN. That just came out just now. In a few hours, President Trump is expected to announce that he has ordered the U.S. military to prepare to impose a naval blockade on Iran by Friday. So that's going to happen. We got to see what the president makes any statements. If anybody finds out anything about Tusi going live, please let me know. So a naval blockade to be imposed by Friday. I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of other stuff going on. Now let me see if I find these videos that I downloaded to show you. There's so much going on, like. Okay. I'm looking at the different ones. Remember we heard about the jets over Iran last night? Remember there was, I think Sepp and a few of you mentioned this. Well, there's video of it. Let me get it ready. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. So remember, we heard about this last night when we were live. The jet over Bandas. I'll play it again. Bandar Abbas, I believe. That's an Iranian jet just patrolling or doing whatever exercise. And that was last night. Remember, we were on and there were reports of that happening? No, that was not U.S. jets. Those were Iranian. But this was last night, if you remember. We were getting reports of that. I think even Tusi mentioned it. I'm going to play some more clips. I think this was last night with Lindsay on Fox News.
It's time for a change. Quit killing your people. They're continuing to kill their people. He told the protesters, keep protesting. That's his Ronald Reagan moment. Help is on the way. I believe him. So if you're in the 72 Virgin business, I think business is going to be good if the Ayatollah keeps this up. The people of Iran could be our friend, but the Ayatollah will never be our friend.
So that was last night on Hannity, Lindsey Graham's comments. I don't think. I think we're going in. Just personally, there's a lot of stuff coming out from all over the place. This is another video. I don't know if I showed this. Let's play this one. Let me get it set up.
I hate.
Remember okay, let me describe. Remember that AI video that Iran put out about attacking our carriers? I know. I'm just saying, let's Lindsay doing Lindsay. I'm just saying, take that for what it's worth, but that's Lindsay being Lindsay. And, you know, people feel all kinds. Oh, now the other side put something out. Iran's response to Trump. Oh boy, I gotta read this with glasses. This is the other side. It's the Middle East Spectator. That's where I keep an eye on them. Iran's response to President Trump's post that we just went over at the beginning. Last time the U.S. blundered into wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, it squandered over $7 trillion and lost more than 7,000 American lives. Iran stands ready for dialogue based on mutual respect and interest. Then they put in caps. But if pushed, it will defend itself and respond like never before. That's what just came out. Now he's putting stuff out. Like I said, there's a lot of rhetoric. Okay. Iran's foreign minister says not in contact with Witkoff, but intermediaries holding consultations. Watchdog, and then they go about the numbers, which I don't believe the numbers. They're way low. It's way higher than that. So, intermediaries, staff, like, what? Really? All right, so anyway, getting back to this. Remember that AI video showing they're going to hit our carrier and all that stuff? Tusi's on in 45 minutes. Well, somebody made a video of us, AI, hitting Iran. Now, did most of you see that AI video that Iran made of hitting the carrier? Yes? No? Well, here is the flip side of that,
my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica.
اگر در این شکنجه ها رو به من بدن روی کارها با بدن برهنه من رو بکشونن، همه اینها برای من بهتر از این روز قیامت.
All flights and all units are standing by, awaiting your command. The mission has been completed successfully for the freedom of Iran. Great work, everyone. Thank you, team. We're heading back.
I say make Iran great again. I hate my opponent.
so on the flip side, there's that one. They made an AI video hitting our carriers. Well, somebody made an AI video on the flip side for us. Just saying. So there's all kinds of stuff out there. This allegedly happened last night. Over 100,000 people came out in Tehran. I don't know. I cannot confirm this, but it's spreading. It's a lot of people are posting this. I don't know if I'm telling you right now. Take this with a grain of salt. I don't know, but I'm going to share it anyway because this is what they're saying happened last night. I don't know if this is true, but it's spreading all over the place. This looks like the video from a few weeks ago when the drones were in the air. I'm not buying it. Now that I look at it, because I'm actually seeing it. Allegedly. We would need to have someone in Tehran. I don't think so. This looks like the night they were all using. It could be. I don't know. But that looks very similar to the night where the drones were flying overhead when they were having all those protests. I don't even want to call it protests. Revolting. So do you see what I mean? There's a lot of stuff. That has to be old, right? I'm not buying it either. It's old. So they're posting it like it happened. Like, what the fuck? That looks like that when they all had their phones and then you saw the drones. That was like over a week ago. 2 weeks ago. So I'm not buying that. So there's a lot of shit coming out. I have to say let me see this one. I don't know.
I think what we're
Oh yeah,
seeing
this
is
might be an
that
interesting to
most
watch. This is new. From I-24. This we're going to watch. I want to hear this too because I didn't hear the whole interview.
What we're seeing is that most of the military assets that need to be in place for the US to be able to take meaningful action against Iran are indeed in place. You spoke about the aircraft carrier group, but additional electronic warfare and communications planes are already in CENTCOM's area of operations, and they are gearing. They also signaled CENTCOM that today they're going to conduct, I believe it's a 3-day exercise in order to project force, which could be a ruse or it could be just preparations for the real deal. But it basically boils down to decision by the president when to strike and if to strike. I believe that the Iranian regime has done too much slaughtering, too much killing, and has been spiteful and disrespectful of the American president in such a way that makes it impossible for him to do what President Obama did many years ago, draw a red line and then allow that line to get crossed without any consequences. So I think that the days of the Iranian regime are numbered. Difficult to say when it will happen and how it will happen, but I think that the Iranians look quite desperate. We see a lot of posturing on one hand, showing videos of missiles and arsenals and a lot of strong rhetoric coming out, but then on the other hand, actually begging for diplomatic talks and for something to delay the anticipated American onslaught. So
I agree. It's a delay tactic. They're just stalling. I agree with him. They're just stalling. This diplomatic, that's BS. I am not buying that. I don't know about all of you. Let me check flight radar. You guys are talking about flight radar. What time is it? It's almost 6:23 p.m. in Iran. Night is about to occur. This is the military filter. That drone is about to come back. It's been going on for almost a day. That's coming back in soon. The Triton. It's still doing its thing. It's amazing. We saw this take off last night. Look at it. It's going to be coming in soon to land. Been in the air for hours and hours. Let's see what you're saying about the civilian. There's still a lot of planes coming in. You know what happens? They change flight paths. Sometimes you'll see them going both ways. Sometimes you'll see them coming out of the south, and then you'll see them coming out of the north. Well, looks like there's quite a few, and it's Turkish, because a lot of airlines are not going over that territory no more. But it's Turkey, UAE, Qatar. I don't know what that is. Okay. But most of these are Turkey and UAE, Qatar, and they're still coming in. UAE, what is that NA? That little one. Look at that. Qatar. Now, Air India did say they're not flying over Iranian airspace. But here they are. Let's see. That's Air Arabia. Iran. A lot of Iranian flights. There's Turkish. Dubai. A lot of Air India is now taking this route because they're not going the other way. That's new. A lot of Air India is going this way now. This is Iranian. Going to Turkey. More Turkish planes coming in. UAE's coming in. So I'm not seeing anything right now unusual at all. There's still a lot of air traffic out there. Look at Iran. And this is not unusual. Don't think this is unusual. It's not. You got to look at the flight path to the eastern part of the country. Still a lot of flights coming in and out of Tel Aviv. There's still a lot going on here. So no, I'm not seeing anything unusual on flight radar. Not at all. Something to keep an eye on. What are these? UK, the drone. So no, nothing that's getting my attention, to be honest. So I'm seeing it. I'm not seeing anything unusual at all. Nothing. Cobra. What is that? So nothing, like I said, the drone is going to be coming in soon. And it's just getting dark there now, so I still think nothing would happen till the weekend, if anything. That's just me, though. See, there's still a lot of air traffic out there. Eastern Iraq, over Iran. There's still a lot of air traffic here. Don't read too much into it right now. Then Sepp sent me a couple of things earlier. And I don't know, he's probably really busy right now. I'm going to read your comments in a second. So Tusi will be live soon. Okay. Let me go to Teams because that's where he sends me the information. Something about Turkey stopping an attack to a U.S. base by Iran. I know I read the link. I don't know. Let me see. I think this is the link. Again, take everything with a grain of salt, always. New. This is 3 hours ago. Turkey foils Iran plot at U.S. Incirlik base. Comes after Iran Speaker of the Parliament threatened preemptive strikes against U.S. and Israel. I don't know if this is true. But it's saying here that Turkey foiled the plot. Now, if this is true, you would think the president has been made aware. But then again, this is this Turkey thing. Do they play both sides? I don't know what to take with this. All right, I'm going to look what you guys are writing. The Iran drone was up this morning, too. There's a disguised drone of a cutter named as Piper Navajo. The Piper Navajo has always been seen near the base in Qatar. I've seen that for weeks. Just like their Typhoon that you'll see, their F-15 that you'll see in Qatar, I've seen that aircraft for weeks. Polymarket still has only a 10% chance of airstrikes on Iran before Saturday. And good morning, axonometry. Or axonometry, whatever. Good morning. Sean says, the matter of offense is not the problem. It's how many Americans' lives are at risk. That is the problem, the defense. Yeah, that's why they're putting in more assets, positioning them. Check this out, a lot of new info. Let me see what Brian is putting as a link.
Currently sunny and 13 degrees in
Moon phase not optimal. That makes sense too. Alexa, stop. That's old. Doomsday plane, Wing of Zion conducts escape drills. Alexa, stop. Europe begins silent diplomatic evacuation of 19 tankers in Qatar signal open war. I'm just going to read it. The new intelligence report here shifts us from military indicators to sovereign indicators. When the presidential aircraft moves and diplomacy departs, it signifies that we're in the final hours of peace. Here, this is all speculation, obviously. The warning bells. The Wing of Zion. Netanyahu prepares the airborne bunker. Detection of the Boeing 767. Conducts test flights. I've seen that for the last few weeks, too. It goes, it comes back. I am not buying in too much of this because they do this all the time. It's not. Activating in and out of test these systems means one thing. Netanyahu and his generals are preparing for a command evacuation scenario in the event Tel Aviv is subjected to intensive Iranian missile bombardment The Israeli government may be administered from the skies during the opening war hours of the war. European diplomatic evacuation, escaping before the skies close. I've seen a lot of that happening, actually, out of Tel Aviv, too. A lot. There was a lot of Russian planes leaving Tel Aviv, going to Moscow. That was like 2 days ago. It's like they're taking personnel out. So yeah, this makes sense. But that just makes sense. Getting their people out of harm's way, potentially. That just makes sense. The army of tankers. We've seen so many tankers over the last few weeks. I mean, you had to see all the tankers over the U.S. I have a photo of that. I don't know if it was last night or this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, there was like 9 of them in the central part of the country this morning. And they were doing something. Yeah, the tankers. This is reading a little bit much into it. The rhetoric, escalation, that goes without saying. So the conclusions: Israel preparing the command aircraft to escape the ground. Europe is withdrawing its diplomats. And America filling the fuel tanks in Qatar. But that's already been indicated. That's not new. Not in my opinion. That's been happening. Slowly but surely, they're pulling. We heard about those announcements like 2 weeks ago. They were pulling people out all over the place. Diplomats. So, again, I'm not reading too much into all that. But some people may not be aware of it. But let's see what else is going on in chat. I was looking at the IGC fighter jet stockpile. It's like 60 years old. Yeah, it's old. And Israel did do significant damage during the 12-day. Let's not forget that. There's so much rhetoric. I mean, I don't even want to show you guys the rhetoric coming from the other side on X. It's just, but that's common. There's always that rhetoric coming out, the posturing. Always. It's like they'd say one thing to their people, like they just say it to say it, putting that huge banner where a CNN guy is, oh my gosh. Like, how did CNN get there? By kissing the regime's ass? I hate to say it like that. You're being used as a propaganda arm of the regime. Because you know if the reporter says anything ill, they'll detain him. I mean, really? This is how it's going to be done? Because CNN wants to be in Tehran if and when something goes down, so they're sucking up and licking. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? That is not objective reporting. And then to have people there that are probably people that the regime said you can interview for your... Give me a break. It's such a joke, in my opinion. So we got to be careful with all the stuff that's going on. But I don't know. I'm confused. So if I'm confused about what the heck is going on, I'm sure the Iranians are confused too, but they're prepared completely for an attack, impending attack. They're not stupid. They're ready. I'm a little concerned about the Persian Gulf area, though, sparking it all off. It surprises me not. What's your thoughts on Trump's True Social post? We talked about that. It could totally be a distraction because he already knows the answer. There is no negotiation. There is no chance for them coming to the table. There is, and it's nuclear? But the nuclear part was to hand over all enriched uranium that they still have and then bring their program down to 0. And they have to release all the people that have been detained and stop funneling money to the proxies. And there was one more. The missile program. You think they're agreeing to any of those? That's lose-lose for them. If they do that, they might as well surrender now. They just might, and consider that Hezbollah, Iraq, and these other proxy groups are saying, we have your back, Iran, we will attack. Give us the command, we will attack. If he says cutting off funding to the proxies, they're going to be like, what? You just threw us under the bus. Here we are telling you we're ready to stand with you and help you attack the U.S. And now you're going to agree to this proxy deal? No money going to our allies? No way. That's never going to happen. Excuse me. Yeah, but don't forget that the IRGC loves Democrats and they love the IRGC. So CNN loves the IRGC. I mean, but look, in the central... Oh, God, they keep calling the doctor. In central London, IRGC headquarters. I mean, really? Are you serious? I've been hearing media speculation that Iran interventions are now more likely to take the focus off of ICE. Anything to take off, yeah, but they're also on their propaganda. They're actually promoting the ICE stuff that's going on in this country to show their people, look, they're talking about coming into our country, but look what's going on in their country. They're using that as propaganda in their machine right now. So they're using all that footage, all that stuff coming out of Minnesota and everything. They're using it to say, look, they're talking about our country, our protests, our terrorists, our rioters. But look what's going on in the United States. Who are they to judge us when they can't even control what's going on in their country? That's what they're doing on their side, the propaganda part. So they're using it. And I'm going to tell you, who knows? Money. There's a lot of speculation, where money is being funneled from, by whom, what groups. There's a lot of that out there too. I'll tell you this right now. When they said, and they put President Trump's photo of what happened in Pennsylvania, and they said next time it won't miss its target. Next time it won't miss the target. Next time it won't miss the target. That almost made me think that they were fucking somehow behind that attempt. I might be reading too much into it. And there was talk about that. There was talk. And here they put that out there. Next time, it won't miss its target. What does that mean? They directly threatened the president again. To me, that's a red line for me. Threatening the president directly. That's a red line for me. I pray that Iranians will get their country back. I mean, but I think purposely, like I said, it's 4D chess to put so much stuff out there to cause confusion on purpose. I truly believe that. That's what I'm saying, Tammy. Who's paying the people to protest? Like I said, I don't want to sound, I'm just saying, I'll use the word, there's a lot of speculation out there, and I'll leave it at that. Because even these days, certain things can happen to a platform if you go a little bit too far. For your information, Iranians don't watch state TV. We have satellite channels that have TV channels like Manolo. They've been doing excellent work. You could see what Goldie's been doing with that, showing clips. I don't know if Tusi's been doing any of that, but let's see. Iran International, yes, etc. I see all the things you're putting. Man, I miss Persian tune. Hopefully one day you'll have that. I don't want to necessarily read what you wrote because I can get in trouble just repeating what you just wrote about the Democrats. Well, we could read that. Democrats are paying the anti-ICE protesters because they're getting rid of their election. See, if I say that, I might get on this platform. You never know. Ulysses, good morning. Do you have proof they are being paid, or are you spreading lies? Ask yourself. That's why I said this, Ulysses. That's why I said there is speculation that's going on. Speculation. I'll be careful with that. But there is a lot of speculation on that, to be honest. So again, there's so much stuff out there. Yeah, I mean, that's a debate. You know, are they interconnected? I'm not saying they are. But, you know, what's going on here, I don't think really, but they're using it. I can show you. I can show you what they're doing on there. I don't like to spread their propaganda. But they are using those videos from Minnesota and all that stuff to say to their people, look, this is what's going on over there. Because, you know, they're saying, well, look, they're killing people. That's what they're doing. So I'm not going to be part of that propaganda arm. But they are doing it, just so you guys are aware. You can find it. They are not Goldie or Tusi channels, but we had BBC channels, Euronews, especially Euronews. My parents wanted to improve English, so they would put Euronews every morning before work or school. That makes sense. Iraq looks empty, but again, that's not uncommon. This bubble is not uncommon. You'll see the flights go from time to time crossing over. If they're going to Jordan or Israel or Lebanon. But this is the predominant flight path right here. This is where you look. If you start to see them, and we showed that June 12th video where, did you see that yesterday when we showed it? Because a lot of people were requesting that. How it looked just like this, and all of a sudden, all the planes started leaving that area and they all shifted like something was going on. It was actually remarkable to look at. Before the 12-day started, because you can go back in time on Flight Radar. Let's go to June 12th. And this gives you an idea what to look for. We could even do the 13th. Let me see. I don't know if it'll do it. We could try. Oh yeah, we got to go further back. But do you see how empty it got? We got to go further back. Let's go to the 12th. You'll see it. I'll speed it up. That's filters. Wait. Let's go to June 12th, 2025. Wait, whoa. Come on. Stop that. June 12th. This should work. Okay, let's speed it up. Now watch. See the bubble? It's always there. There's always that bubble. You'll see the flights going back and forth. But watch how it clears out. And this is what you want to keep an eye out for. When you start seeing the airspace shift. There were still flights coming in to Tel Aviv. Just look at certain locations, how they change. And Tusi's going to start soon, so I'm going to get off in a few. But look at all that air traffic coming down from the north, from Turkey area. Look at all that. This is June 12th, last year. To give you guys an idea of what you look for with the civilian traffic. That could be indicators that something might be going down, like we saw last week. When something looked like it was going to happen, then didn't. Hold on. Yeah, we could always go to Midnight Hammer, but I just want to show you before that for the airspace. When Israel and Iran were going at it. And I want to see Tusi, so I don't know if I have time to do that. Yes, they didn't tell him about the attack. Clears out after Israel attack. Yes. There is no deal to be made. There is, again, that is something that the president can say a statement and say, we're trying to negotiate, trying to make a deal. Let's make a deal. If you don't make a deal, this is going to happen. He's just putting that out there. That diplomacy is still trying to be negotiated, but it's done. It's not happening. But publicly, he could say he said that and that he tried. That's what I think it is. Okay, let's see. It's going to come soon. It's June 13th. It's going to come soon. Can someone give me a time check on Tutsi? If anyone can. Exactly. Trump is playing with them. It's, I mean, not necessarily a game, but there it goes. Look at how the traffic just stops. And look how the gap just opens. And they all start to divert to the south, to the north. That shit is remarkable. And you know they're going to do it because they got to worry about a counter coming from Iran. You know, the action that's going to happen to Iran or coming from Iran. All that civilian is going to be cleared out. And that's live now. So you could see it looks very similar. So this is like what I keep an eye on. Anything that I may notice, like if I see planes from Turkey that are supposed to come down and they start to turn and shift their pattern, because you can see how they're coming down. You could see it. And these are going up. And they change. Sometimes you'll see most of the flights going north, south, both at the same time. Depends on the time of day. But you will start to see it. Because they'll start being diverted. See, there's still a lot of flights going to the north. See them all lining up? On this side, they're all going north. But then they'll go over Saudi Arabia. They'll cut over. Before Iraq, before Kuwait, they'll start to cut over this way. This is what you'll see. They won't even go near Iraq. Same for Turkey. You'll see a lot of these flights, instead of coming down, they'll be diverted and they'll go across and they'll have to go around Iran to get down. Those are the things you watch. 11 minutes to Tutsi already? Oh my gosh. So, what is his title for his show? I'm going to look. I'm going to go to his channel now. So I'm subscribed to him. Upcoming. Drones deployed toward Americans. Yeah. I'm telling you. And, you know, you'll see his chat on this side. Drones deployed toward Americans. Breaking. IRGC reject Trump deal. I said that earlier. There is no deal. There is no deal. You're dealing with the regime and you're dealing with the IRGC. You're dealing with both, actually. And they said no, and their foreign minister said yesterday or the day before now, no. So it's already been determined. And he's like saying, the president, you have one last chance to rethink, to make a deal. That's what the president is doing. You have one chance before I make a move. I'm giving you this last opportunity. And it's not just the nuclear, it's other things. But that's what that is. Make a deal. Otherwise, we're coming. Because they're saying no, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, back channels. We just don't know. Now, the thing I read earlier is there's no communication. The foreign minister, I think it was, for Iran said that he's not talking to Witkoff, but there are intermediaries working on this. What? So there's no top-level talks at this point? Intermediaries? What? No. There's no negotiation here. There is. It's done. I'm telling you, it's done. To everyone shouting for Gaza but staying silent on the 30,000 slaughtered by the regime, your justice is selective. Shame on you. I had a video, and I hate to put it up. I'll freeze it just to put a comparison. And I really, what someone just mentioned is what you can't compare. In Iran, this is what I mean. I'm thinking the number's higher than that. In Iran, in 2 weeks, and it really was during a 2-night span, 50,000, 300 casualties, and over 2 years, 71 in Gaza. I don't know why they spelled it that way. I guess maybe that's the right way to spell Gaza. It's not even comparable. It's not even. This is like the most horrific massacre since World War II. To put it in perspective, since World War II. You can't compare. The only thing you can compare it to is 1941. That's how bad what happened in Iran. How horrific. Can't compare. Based just on the numbers I'm saying. It's horrific. And it's still going on. There was an execution this morning. They hung someone. They said that was working with the Mossad. This morning. But even though you say, we're going to get off because I want to see Tutsi. Even though you say they don't have the balls to strike first, you got to be aware that that's still a possibility. It's very slight, but there's still a possibility. You have to be ready for that. Look, I said this numerous times. I'll just say this. Whether you like the president or not, if he succeeds in assisting and help free Iran from that regime, he goes down in history as one of the greatest presidents in the 21st century already, for bringing the potential for peace and stability in the region. And Reza Pahlavi said it again. He is going to immediately recognize the state of Israel and create peace between the two countries. So, from a political point of view, whether people don't like the president or love the president, you have to recognize the reality of the situation. Period. And you know the other side's not going to like it. Democrats are going to be like, it's undeniable. It would be in the books forever. And obviously, if you're a Trump supporter, you're it's great. I think it's not even political. To me, it's about democracy, freedom, changing the region geopolitically, economic interests. There's so much involved here. It changes the balance. The proxies get cut off. What happened to all those hundreds of millions that was given back to Iran? And what did they use that money for? Unfreezing that. I mean, you got to look at everything that's been going on for decades. And who suffers? The poor people of Iran for decades, for 47 freaking years. It's about the people of Iran first. Primary, the people of Iran. All the other things is included as well, but really, this is about the people of Iran finally being freed from the oppression of that evil fucking regime. I hate to use the language. Period. Yes, they are. I mean, that is just barbaric, cruel, heinous, evil behavior, period, what they're doing to their people. There is no justification. Zero. We know the stories. We hear what people are saying out of Iran. Oh my God. And we're going to ignore it? Anyway, this is not political. Exactly. This is the right thing to do. I would think this is a bipartisan issue that many Americans would support this. I don't know. Maybe I'm too optimistic. But anyway, let's go watch Tootsie. At least I am. I'm gonna get off now because Tootie's gonna start like literally in 2 minutes and 26 seconds. So I'll be back later this afternoon, like at 4 p.m. Eastern, where hopefully Sepp will join me. Love to everyone. Be well, be blessed, be safe. Anywhere in the world. My love goes out to the people of Iran. I did write a Persian version of the song. We'll discuss that later. I'm out. Tootsie starting in 2 minutes. Love to